How's it, guys? This is Dayvy FP and welcome back to the Deadline with Dayvy Livestream. This deadline is going to be the GAMEWEEK 5 deadline, and a game week that I thought was going to be relatively kind of no-brainer, a relatively set and forget, has turned into an absolute news storm. Is Rafinha going to start? Is Harrison going to start? Is Bamford fit? All that good stuff has come out today. So originally we're actually going to plan to do the Rafinha transfer, but now we might have to wait for some more news. But thanks for joining us on this very lovely Friday evening, morning. I don't think it's anywhere morning in the world, but if you guys are somewhere around the world, it's 4 a.m. or something like that. I think Australia is like that. I appreciate you guys joining in. But for me, it's relatively just a nice chilled evening. So thanks a lot for joining on a Friday evening. I know it's not usually, a lot of people join generally because everyone has their lives. They want to go out just as long as they're being safe. So if you guys are here, I do appreciate it. And hopefully we can still have a fun Friday evening. In terms of my own team, as I said, the original one transfer that we were going to do was Ben Rama out for Rafinha, but now we don't really know what's happening with that whole kind of debate. So hopefully we'll get news. I'm pretty sure we will. I just scoped Twitter just before I went live, and I think that we already do kind of have news about it. So I mean, I'm gonna have to wait and see for that. But starting off, we're just gonna go over a quick review. Because some people generally like to do this. So 76 points, we did take a -8, so obviously 68, which was above the average, but we actually got a red arrow. So currently sitting just above the 90k mark. Game week 4, before game week 4's deadline, we were about 88k. So the red arrow actually wasn't that much, but it still was a little bit of an annoying red arrow. So hopefully we can get back on the green arrows now. So let me just get back into chat. Sorry, everything's a little bit muddled over here. So thanks a lot for joining. As I said, we've got lots of people in chat. Apologies that I was a little bit later. I just wanted to clarify some news and just get everything ready on the tech side. So I do apologize for being a little bit late. But in terms of the Rafinha news, so I'm going to cover first what my initial thoughts on it were. It came from a Leeds forum, so that was a little bit dodgy to start with. But the news was that apparently Harrison tested positive, so he was going to miss. And then Rafinha had a little bit of a doubt or a little bit of a muscle strain or something like that. But he was a doubt for this upcoming fixture tonight. So it's come out that apparently Harrison isn't with the squad. So obviously that rumor was true. But then we don't really know about the other rumor. So it's a little bit of like a kind of a toss up there. Some people are saying that, yeah, but Harrison's out. But I mean, the rumor is still not true. But I don't know how you take one source and then split it into two different stories. What the story might have been is that Rafinha was initially a doubt, but they're going to play him tonight. That might be what the story's out. So in terms of you guys can always post tweets if you do get them. That's what I wanted to say. So if you do manage to get news about potential, as long as it's verified, please don't post fake news in the chat. But we will be covering some news a little bit closer to the deadline because I'm pretty sure we'll get news on Rafinha. There's too many journalists around this fixture for a Friday night for us not to. And if Rafinha is in training before the fixture, I mean, that's basically a guaranteed start. Victor asking, is Bamford playing? I'm pretty sure he will. He's kind of the one that started off the week. He started off the week as not being fit, but now he is fit. It was confirmed by Bielsa yesterday. And Bielsa is usually he's quite solid in terms of press conferences. He doesn't like to give us fake news. He generally is quite straightforward. For me, the transfer in, if you guys do own Calvert-Lewin or someone like that, is 100% going to be Bamford. I'm a little bit jealous, especially if Rafinha misses out tonight, but I'm pretty jealous if you guys do own the likes of Bamford. Dayvy, where's your Salah shirt? So the Salah shirt's right here. You guys can check it out. So whenever we captain Salah, we're going to be wearing the Salah shirt because if memory serves me right, when we captained him last time, he managed to get a return. So I don't know what happened was Salah got 3 points and Fernandes got 2. So this week's going to determine if it's a good luck shirt or if it's a bad luck shirt, basically. But every time we captain Salah, we'll be wearing the good luck Salah shirt until it doesn't come good. Also, I did shave, so someone asked me in the videos, they were like, please shave, you're looking really scruffy. So I did. I originally didn't want to because Liverpool haven't lost a game since I last shaved. So I was kind of skeptical about that, but then I remembered that I got a red arrow now. So at least if I had a green arrow, I probably would still be looking scruffy. So whoever that was in the chat, this one was for you. As Nick's saying, so Fernandes got 1 point. So yeah, so Salah got 2 or 3. And then Fernandes got 1. So right now the shirt is still good luck, but hopefully that won't change. Real Madrid asking, what about Dennis? Dennis is one of those that it's not like a massive exciting pick. So the upside for it is probably not high, but the downside is also not great. So you might as well just take a punt if you want to go for him. I think especially if you're on a wild card, you could consider him. But for a free transfer, I don't really know. Jason saying beard for life. I personally think that I suit a beard more than shaved. So, I mean, you guys can debate that. But this is an FPL channel, so we don't have to talk about that. I'm sorry to annoy you, but any news on Rafinha? So the Rafinha story currently, if you guys haven't joined or joined late, I will cover it now. And then I'll probably will drop it, talk about questions, and I'll talk about it later on. So the Rafinha news is that today on the Leeds forum, a source came out and said that Harrison tested positive and Rafinha was a doubt for the Newcastle game. So now it's been confirmed that Harrison has not traveled, so we can basically assume that news is true. But we don't know about the Rafinha news. And apparently he looks good to start. But I think let's wait and then we can discuss it in a little bit, because I'm pretty sure 15 minutes, 10 minutes before the deadline, we'll be getting a lot of news about it anyways. So you guys don't have to stress about it. Maybe just plan 2 routes. Plan a plan A and a plan B. And depending on what news comes in, you guys can adjust to that. So my plan A right now is to go Rafinha in for Benrahma. And my plan B is to probably do nothing. So it's quite an easy kind of selection there. Optimus Prime saying Rafinha starts tonight, David. I have targeted you. So thank you. I'll go check it out now. Because obviously I want to give you guys as much news as possible to make the best informed FPL decision as possible. So I will check that out quickly. Thanks Optimus Prime for tagging me. Kylo GG saying I'm with you on Bamford. I personally think Leeds will flop tonight. Okay, so that is true. I've seen 2 sides of the story. So if you guys are a triple Leeds owner with Rafinha, Bamford and Ayling, you probably think it's going to be 6-0. That is to Leeds. But if you guys aren't, you probably think that they're going to flop. It's a very kind of weird scenario. But for me, I want to bring Rafinha in for the long term, because let's just kind of look at these Leeds fixtures. We always talk about the Sea of Green. The Sea of Green is strong with Leeds at the moment. So I think for these next couple of fixtures, I mean, they're such a good option, have good options to go for. I mean, Rafinha is just so cheap anyways. As James Ward is saying, 0-0 there. I'm fine with a 0-0 right now. If I bring Rafinha in, probably not happy with that. But right now, as the only player I own is Ayling, that's fine for me. I've seen a couple of people on Gucci saying Maximum. Are you guys also on the Gucci bandwagon? I won't lie, I wish I was, because then I'll buy a Gucci headband and I'll wear it for the next stream if you banged. I think that's probably going to be something that we have to do in the upcoming game weeks. Can I pick both Semedo and Marcel 100%? It was something that I was looking at if I was to use the wild card. It would be something that tempts me, because at 4.5 and 5, or I think 4.9 Semedo is currently, I mean, I don't think you're going to get 2 more attacking defenders than those 2. So there's not too much risk there at 4.5 with Marcel. Only a little bit of rotation maybe. But I mean, that's a perfect combination to go for. I would be very tempted by that, especially if you guys are on that bandwagon of no Trent. If you want no Trent and Lukaku, Ronaldo up front, then I would consider the double up on the Wolves. Blaze saying, I wish Saint Maximin was a midfielder and I'd choose him actually. So as far as I know, I remember last season he was a midfielder. We all chose him and then nothing ended up happening. Kylo GG saying, off topic, personally want 0-0 for Leicester Brighton. So that's probably respectable. You probably own a Leicester defender as well. I only own Sanchez. So I hope for a Brighton clean sheet, but I don't have too much faith in that one, unfortunately. I think that Leeds I think that Leicester might be a little bit hot after that Europa League game last night. Ben is saying Traore or Rafinha. I have Bamford. Personally, Ben, I'm all for kind of double ups, triple ups, as long as the fixtures look good. So I would probably recommend going with Rafinha. I don't regret the Traore transfer, but I just don't know. He's just such a weird footballer. It's like, I don't know what analogy to use for him. It's probably going to have some innuendo, but he's just kind of, he does everything right, and then the final shot is like absolutely shocking. Like, I think I've finished better in five-a-side than he has. So it's such a weird one. I don't think I would go Traore if I was looking at a transfer this week. I don't know why. Might be a little bit contradictory because I have him on my team, but I just think that I would probably prefer Saar or Rafinha. I think Rafinha is my favorite and then Saar is my second. Why not Benrahma to Saar? It's just the Watford stats that are putting me off a little bit. I know that you shouldn't always kind of look at the previous stats when the fixtures haven't been that great, but I just don't know. They seem like they're a little bit lackluster up front. Traore or Rafinha, I would go for Rafinha, Ben. Sky saying, hey bro, Feltman for Marcel. Let's look at the Brighton fixtures. To me, that's kind of a low-risk transfer because it's a 4.5 to a 4.5. Yeah, it's a tough one because I think game week 6, game week 8, you might double up. What I would do, Sky, is I would look at the rest of your defense. I would look at least your 3 best defenders. If Veltman is one of your best 3, then I think I would bring in Marcel. But if Veltman's not, then maybe just look at the fixtures and when you have to double up. But I think right now, I mean, Veltman for Marcel, especially if it's a free transfer, that looks pretty good for me. Buying Rafinha or not, actually that reminds me, I'm going to just check Twitter because I think Optimus Prime saying that he tagged me on something. So just give me a few seconds here to just confirm. Okay, so Unit Football, who's usually been quite good, he tweeted Diaz Beloli. So that's Rafinha's full name, I think. I do apologize there for absolutely probably butchering that pronunciation, but that is his full name, and he has put a tick next to it. So it does look like he's confirmed to start. So I probably will bring him in then. I just think that transfer for me, that's kind of what I've been on tonight, or today, or the past couple of days. I've been on that transfer. Ever since I made the team selection yesterday, I kind of thought it through. The only worry I have about him is that he potentially did have a strain. And like he has a strain, and then he gets it like worse in the fixture. That's the only worry with him. Like he actually gets injured in this fixture, because I don't think it was necessarily false that he was a doubt. Matteo saying not fancying Bamford to Antonio for a week, so not right now. I think I'm going to keep Antonio. I would rather keep Antonio than Benrahma at this stage. And then I still do have coverage from Antonio because I do think he outscores Benrahma over the next. Tyron Swart saying, how's it, Dave? Hope you're well. I am well. Thank you. Hopefully you too. Should I start Duffy or Omabad Medeli? If you have a double up on Brighton, I don't think I would go for it. I think I would probably go with Omabad Medeli, as long as you don't own a Saar. If you own a Saar, then I probably would just go with a double up. But I mean, the thing with Omabad Medeli is that if he doesn't start, he probably won't come on anyways. So it's like it's a low risk one, but I mean, I think the maximum both of those get is a clean sheet. So it's not too hectic of a decision, unfortunately. But I still understand that it's probably a debate to go for. But I would probably go with Omabad Medeli, and then unless you have a Saar or Dennis. Oladapo is saying Sufal and Tony out for Semedo and Bamford for -4. So Sufal playing United, probably not a clean sheet there. Tony playing, I think he's playing Aston Villa. Hey, you can just go check here. Sorry. So Tony's playing Wolves. If you own a Wolves defender, I probably would do that -4. Or you want to bring a Wolves defender in anyways. I would probably do that move because I think for the future game weeks that looks solid. The only thing is Sufal, I mean, he has Leeds and Brentford up next, which he could get clean sheets in. But I just think Semedo and Bamford have a high ceiling. So Oladapo, I would probably do that, as it fills me with excitement to look at that -4 hit, to be honest. Herman saying, can't afford Rafinha, hold Benrahma or Saar. I would probably hold Benrahma in that case. I think Saar's too much of a punt for me. If you guys know what I'm saying. With Rafinha, he's not super exciting, but I think he can be consistent, and especially with these nice fixtures coming up. Look, I think Saar for the next 3 looks quite nice. So if you want to take a punt before a wild card, but Herman, I'd probably just keep Benrahma, to be honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Goal prediction for Liverpool vs Crystal Palace. Joker, I think I said 2-0 on Super Brew. I can do my predictions if you guys want to. I'll just run through them quickly because I did them quite recently on Super Brew because I always forget and then I have to do it close to the deadline. Who to start, Sissoko or Williams? Sissoko for Watford midfielder. Twisted, I might be tempted by Williams in that case because I think the clean sheet odds might be slightly higher than a Sissoko goal or assist. Clement LaRue saying double Chelsea defense this week. Would you do that versus Spurs? So I don't know about you guys, but I know that at the start we said don't bring Lukaku in because he has 2 tough fixtures of Spurs and Chelsea, but I mean, Spurs and Man City, apologies. But I don't think that Spurs fixture's hard. I think that's a pretty fine fixture for Chelsea, to be honest. So I would be fine with getting... Look, the only thing about that double Chelsea defense is they have Man City next week, which is not optimal. So you might just want to have one defender this week and then bring in someone else like a Semedo or someone like that. But if you are a Lukaku owner, a Chelsea defense owner, I wouldn't be scared of playing them. Optimus Prime saying Leeds with so many injuries. They do have a lot of injuries. That is fair. But what I think is Harrison drops, Dan James comes in, centre back. But I mean, the centre back could be an advantage because now Leeds have to be more attacking because they're going to concede so many. So it can kind of go both ways. I mean, we're losing out on a Rafinha clean sheet point, but maybe it gets more. Amartey or Ayling, so little Ethiopia, that is a no-brainer for me. Play Ayling. Ayling has a good fixture. Daryl Spencer saying, careful, I am a Spurs fan. So Daryl, I know that is probably a little bit bad because I have roasted your club. But because you are a Spurs fan, I know that you're realistic. And I think you'll agree with me that Spurs right now aren't looking that strong. Among saying, Rafinha starting, check Twitter. So I have checked Twitter. And as far as I know, Unit Football is a reliable source. So I'll probably, I don't know, I might, the thing is, I don't have to make the transfer now anyways. But if you guys do have to, if you do have to leave, I know it is a Friday night, maybe you have to go hit the clubs, then you can leave and just bring Rafinha in because that's probably going to be the move that I do. Roasted and toasted, say Jason. So exactly, with some, I don't know if you guys have Bovril, do you have Bovril overseas, but put some Bovril or Marmite on it. Do you think Mahrez will start, Dayvy? I don't think Mahrez will start. I think that because Jesus was rested and because he's been in such good form, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Pep and Mahrez, it was a classic coach, manager, player moment. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. I just think that he's not too happy with Mahrez at the moment, and Jesus' form is just so great. So I think Jesus will start on the right. Paddy Baller saying I went Harvey Barnes and Jimenez over Bamford and Saar/Gray. So Harvey Barnes is an interesting one. Raul Jimenez I do like, but Harvey Barnes is a little bit weird, Paddy Baller. But I mean, if you want to go for it, go for it. Play Tony or Duffy. I have a Wolves defender. I would play the odds there. Chow Wow, so I would go with Tony in that case. Also, oh no, not Tony. Go for Duffy. Sorry, my bad. That's a little bit tough. Is Laporte injured? So that's a tough one. I think that I did see news today that there was 2 of them that were out. Just check on Premier injuries. Just type that into Google and then, or just check out Ben Dinnery on Twitter. He will have the news for you. He has every kind of injury concerns that you guys would desire. Doucouré. So Doucouré is an interesting one, but I personally prefer Gray. I don't know. I just think that those two, I think that Gray has the highest ceiling. Gray or Hwang Hee-chan. Hwang Hee-chan's an interesting one because I think that he's getting closer to a start, but I think I would probably still go with Gray at this moment, especially because they have Norwich up next. Gray versus Greenwood. Nikhil, it depends where you are in terms of your transfers. If you're on a wild card, I would go with Gray because I think Greenwood's minutes are coming to an end, and most of us will only give the United assets next week anyway, because from game week 7 onwards, the fixtures look very bad. So I would probably go with Gray in that scenario. And I mean, he is so much cheaper. So it's a little bit of a tough debate to kind of compare those two because they're so much cheaper, but I probably would go for that. Is doubling up on the Wolves defense too risky? So Brian, I answered this question earlier, but long story short, I don't think so. I think that, especially if you guys don't go with Trent, that's something that I would probably consider. Will Barnes start? If you're talking about Harvey Barnes, then I don't know. It's a tough one. I think he will, though. I think he will. I took Fornells to Saar and Ings to Bamford. What do you think? I took Fornells to Saar and Ings to Bamford. Ings to Bamford, 100% Jason, 100% nice move. The Fornells to Saar one is an interesting one. I don't know. It's a similar situation with Ben Rama. If you would have transferred out Ben Rama, it's perfectly fine. I just don't know. I think you probably would want to take a punt there. What do you think of a -4 for Torres to Jota, says Jason. So Jason, if we had news that Torres wasn't going to start, 100%, I'd be fine with that. But because there is a potential that he starts and it's against Southampton, you have to keep Torres, in my opinion. Like I know that for the long term, maybe Jota, or at least medium term to short term, better option. But I just think you can't take out a City option, except if it's Mahrez, with the chance to start for a -4. That just doesn't make sense to me, unfortunately. Ahmed saying Williams or Duffy. If you own Sanchez, maybe consider the triple up. Like, I would try and probably avoid playing my Norwich defenders as much as possible because I don't trust the defense. But if you have to, then you can always do that. So I would probably just favor Duffy in that situation. Whom to play? Omabad Madeli, Duffy, or Brownhill? I probably wouldn't play Brownhill. It would be between Omabad Madeli and Duffy. The thing is about Omabad Madeli is that he might not even start. So you could just play him and hope that he starts. But I think that Duffy's probably the more sensible option to go for because the Brighton defense is slightly better. Dunk to Semedo for a -4, thanks. I think if you have to play Dunk for every single game week for the next 5, I would probably do that -4 hit. But if you don't, then I wouldn't. I think game week 5 and game week 7, Brighton have good fixtures. So then you can always just bench him. Naz Khan saying, hi Dayvy, just did Torres to Rafinha. Thoughts? Naz, if you ask me, I probably wouldn't have done that move. But I mean, because you've done it, I'm not gonna kind of ridicule it because what's the point about being negative? It is FPL, anything can happen. But I probably would have preferred to keep Torres. But I don't think, if I had to do that move, I probably would have gone for Rafinha as my kind of selection. Ayling or White in the bench? I would go with White because Ayling's a fullback. We have a $5 super chat. Appreciate that support. Start either Sufal or Brownhill. Also bench one. Feltman, Brandon Williams, or Ayling. I would probably bench Brandon Williams and start Sufal or Brownhill. What I would probably do is I would probably just start Sufal in that case. Yeah, I don't think that, I don't know. Brownhill's a weird one. I don't think there's too many. Optimus Prime saying my Game Week 5 team is locked. 2 transfers, -4. Jimenez and Semedo in, DC and Simikas out. Son of my captain. 100%. Good transfers to do. It is a -4, which is always not, I don't really like to take that many hits, but your hits make sense to me. Nick Diaz saying, Dave, you have a midfield powerhouse of Torres, Jota, Greenwood, Salah, and Rafinha. So, Nick, you're just telling me that. I appreciate it. Appreciate you dropping the comment. You're just flexing on us here. This is a flex zone if you want it to be. So, Nick, nice midfield. Hopefully it bangs for you this week. Possible CR7 captain. I don't know about Ronaldo. I think it's overthinking it. I think it's overthinking it too much for me. By going for Ronaldo captain this week. It's Salah. I know that Crystal Palace had a good game against Spurs, granted. It was against 10 men, but I just think a home fixture for Salah against the opposition that usually like to concede goals is too much of a no-brainer for me. So, and also I don't have a Ronaldo shirt. I have a Salah shirt. So I have to captain Salah as much as possible so I can milk the shirt as much as possible. So that's, I just think for me it's too much overthinking to go with Ronaldo. Now, granted, he could outperform, but I just think the odds are in Salah's favor. I have Semedo for this game week, so he can score this game week. So thank you. I have high hopes for Semedo because last week he choked in front of goal. He had like 2 big chances, but no worries, Nick. You can always give your thoughts on it. I appreciate you guys. I just appreciate the comment and the support, Nick. So you can comment whatever you want, even if it's feedback on me that's negative. Just try not to be too mean, okay? Are you not worried on having any Chelsea or Man City assets? So I don't think I'm too worried about that, to be honest. I think from game week 7 onwards, I'd be worried if I didn't. The City assets are on a different one because for me, I would love to own Man City assets. There's just too much rotation between them. And I just think there's cheaper options that are more secured that could get me more points. With half an hour to go to finalize the team, is Rafinha going to play? So what I'll do for you is I'll go and check. It's actually 26 minutes to be exact, but I'll let you off for that one. So I'll go check Twitter again just for you. So in terms of, so now that Fantasy Premier League, the official account, just posted an interview with Bamford on how he likes FPL. So I mean, it's so hard to not bring him in, but unfortunately, I'm just not going to. So in terms of any other news, it doesn't really look like it, to be honest. We just have had that one source, but I'm pretty sure that source is pretty reliable. Adam Palmer saying, would you bench Ben Rama or Shaw? I would bench Ben Rama and I'd play Shaw. Would you take Antonio out for Bamford? So Daryl, this is the only reason why I would take Antonio out to Bamford, is if you don't have anyone on your bench that either is going to play or has a good fixture. I think I classify the Norwich defenders in that bracket. I think that's kind of scraping the barrel there on a defender that can play. So if you guys have, for example, an Ailing for me that had a good fixture, I would just go for that. So that's the only reason why I would take Antonio to Bamford, is if you guys don't have a full starting 11 or you have like no one on your bench, basically. So that's kind of the same thing. Just I've said it in two different ways. But if you don't have a starting 11, I would do that move. But if you manage to get a player off the bench, then I would probably just keep Antonio. Because from my personal point of view, when he does play, he generally scores FPL points. Salah or Jota captain. Akshay, it's easy. If you want to go differential, go Jota. But I think Salah is too good of an option to kind of ignore. So I would have to go really differential if you want to go for that. William Petro saying, please help, need a 5.9 or under. Any suggestions? Damari Gray from Everton. If you have him, then we might go for a Gallagher, but I think that Gray's the best option in your price bracket. Krishna saying, hey David, do you think Soufal to Semedo from -4 is worth it? I don't like to take hits for defenders like that. I probably wouldn't do that -4. I think that Soufal, although it's a tough fixture, it's a home fixture for West Ham. United, although they have been slightly stronger when they have 11 men on the field, I think that there is still a chance that Soufal manages to get something. And he has been rested in the Europa League. Transfer plans for this week, James. So right now, because it looks like Rafinha is going to start, or at least play, I wish there was news that he was starting, not just a tick that he's fit, because that could mean he's on the bench. It's going to be Ben Rama to Rafinha, I think. I just want some coverage in terms of Bamford and that Leeds attack in general. Start Soufal or Smith Rowe? I would go with Smith Rowe. Sean, I think that's a more sensible option, especially if you probably own Ronaldo and you probably own someone like a Greenwood. Trincao. So Paddy Ball had this discussion last week when I was considering Trincao or Traore, and for me he gets subbed too early. I don't know. I like my FPL options to play a little bit longer, and that's why I went with Traore. Should I bench White or Ben Rama? I think if you have a Man United defender, I would probably play Ben White. Will Salah, Mane, Jota, Fabinho, Virgil van Dijk, Robert, Trent, Matip, Thiago, Ox, and Alisson start tomorrow? So everyone except for Thiago and Ox I'd be confident about. But Ox, I don't think Ox is going to start, unfortunately. I think he's going to be on the bench yet again. Victor saying, Dayvy, is that sponsored drinks? So unfortunately not. It is a Steri Stumpy. I don't think you guys have that overseas. But if they want to sponsor me, I mean, I'm all for it. I just like I like their milkshakes, so that's what I'm gonna drink. But if they want to sponsor me, 100%. Are you banking your transfer, Adam? No, I'm probably gonna do Ben Rama out for Rafinha. I just want some coverage. Bamford and Traore, or Jimenez and Rafinha for Ings and Ali. That's a tough one. I prefer Bamford over Rafinha. But I prefer Jimenez over Traore. So I would probably go with Bamford and Traore from that point of view, to be honest. Is Bamford injured or is he playing? So I can't be 100% confirmed that he's going to play, but I think that I would be confident in him starting. Clement says he likes this, so exactly that's what I'm drinking. Optimus Prime saying, where you guys from? So I'm personally from South Africa, if you guys didn't know, but I think you do know it. Clyde saying he loves it, Dave. So thank you. Hopefully you love it too, Clyde. They're very, very nice drinks. We can just say that. Should I bench Duffy or Ben Rama? I would bench Duffy. Chris, when both of them have tough fixtures, I would always play the attacker. That's just a general rule I go with. I'm so confident that Traore and Jimenez will come true. So Saint, I'm hoping as well. Maybe not Raul Jimenez, I'm hoping more for Traore, but because I'm supportive of you guys as well, so if you guys do own Jimenez, I am confident that he will also do well. Sa or Traore, between those two tier, I would go with Sa. I just don't know. I have regrets about bringing Traore in for some reason. Ronaldo and Sa or Torres and Jimenez. So George, I think if you're going to captain Ronaldo next week, I would keep him. But if you're not going to captain him next week, I would be tempted by Torres and Raul Jimenez. Because I think from my personal point of view, I would be taking Ronaldo out anyways in game week 7 for Lukaku. Clyde's saying, okay, that's true. I don't know if you're calling me, you're saying like I'm like an 11-year-old girl, but thank you for having a similarity, I guess. I think Ayling will not be a fullback next match because of injuries. He will be a centre back. So I mean, I don't really mind if he's a centre back. That's fine. I'm hoping for a clean sheet anyways. What do you think about KDB? Dwayne, KDB is a punt at this point because we have premium assets like Salah, Ronaldo, and Lukaku who are performing well right at the moment. So we can't even fit all of those in. So that's a little bit of a tough one. KDB is back and looks good from game week 8 for a captaincy option. So Optimus Prime, what I would do is I would wait and see on KDB because game week 7 are going to bring Lukaku in anyways. And if we don't choose to go with Lukaku, we can always just bank 2 transfers, take the funds out of Ronaldo, Lukaku, and bring KDB in. Ings to Bamford for a -4. Aston Villa, who do they play this week? Aston Villa play... Why can't I find them for some reason? Aston Villa play Everton. I don't know. I don't think I'd do a -4 in that case. Jason saying he's from KZN. Is it better to go with Jota as vice-captain in case Salah stays on the bench? So Thanos, I don't think I would do that. I know what you're saying there, but in these kind of COVID times, I never like to put my captaincy on one fixture. So my vice and my captain. I always like to split it. And I think Ronaldo is an average captain option this week as well. So I don't really mind if he becomes my captain. Usama saying, hope you're doing fine. I am, thank you. I kindly suggest Bamford or Jesus for DCL. Bamford. I like Jesus, and I know that for a 1-week punt, he's quite an attractive option. But I just think that Bamford for the future is guaranteed to get more points. Dejan saying, are you not scared of Greenwood and Jota not playing? Jota I'm not scared of. I think he'll play. Greenwood maybe, but I think I can get another fixture or 2 out of him. And then I think we might have some rotation. No worries, Dwayne. Chris France saying bench Ayling or Ben White. I would bench Ben White in this scenario because I think that Ayling, if he does start as a fullback, has more attacking potential. But as someone mentioned in chat, sorry I forgot who it is, Ayling might actually play centre-back because of all the injuries that Leeds have in defence. David, do you think Torres is going to start? So Nick Diaz, I do think he'll start. I think the front 3 will be Grealish, Torres, and Jesus. Tier A captain, I never like to captain a defender, and I think it might be too early to do that. I think it's overthinking it to not go with Salah. Excuse me, especially if you do have Salah. Moen saying, will Buendia start? I don't think he will. I think Buendia is going to be on the bench because as far as I know, they're returning to training today or tomorrow, and then they're going to make a decision on if they start. The Aston Villa manager said that they have been in good physical condition, but I wouldn't really trust it at the moment. Brandon saying, yes, the Dayvy, I think you meant to say Don. I don't know if you said gone, so I don't know. But Blaze, thank you. I appreciate the support. Hopefully I have blessed you guys with my FPL wisdom. Hopefully it manages to pay dividend. Zaid saying, surely Rafinha starts, especially if the rumors of Harrison testing positive is true. Zaid, I understand what you're saying because what you're saying is that the attacking options are limited, but I think that Dan James just comes in for Harrison like he was substituted in the previous game. And I think with Rafinha, they could always start someone else. So I don't think necessarily that's a no-brainer for me, but I understand where you're kind of coming from. Ben Rama to Rafinha for a -4. I don't think I would do the -4. And worth taking a -4 for Bamford, it depends on the player you're taking out. Because if it's a player with good fixtures, then I don't think it's worth it. Akil saying, how did you get so good at FPL? I don't think I'm good, but I think that I might be better than average. And when did you start playing? So I started playing 5 seasons ago, if memory serves me right. I've been doing YouTube for 3 seasons. I think this is my 4th season doing YouTube. Davey, what should be my approach to future game weeks now without a wildcard? I've never wildcarded this early. I still have a 100k rank. I'm not going to be playing the chips without a double game week. So ranking, I think that's a sensible approach. Without a wild card, you just have to play with what you have. Your cards are in front of you. You know you don't have a wild card, so I would try and be a little bit more sensible. Maybe not take as many hits, maybe not take as many punts, but you'll get through it. I mean, FPL's like that. If you have one bad week, doesn't mean necessarily the other one's going to be bad. Helmi saying, hope you are. Thank you. Keep up the good work. So thank you. You just asked me how I'm doing and you said keep up the good work. So Helmi, that's a good comment there. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Hopefully you have enjoyed the stream. Optimus Prime saying only 113 likes and we 700 people. So if you guys want to like the stream, you don't have to like the stream, but that would be appreciated. I know it's pretty late into the stream, so it's probably going to affect too much on the algorithm. But if you guys want to help me in the algorithm a little bit more, a like's always appreciated. Timika's out for a -4. Who should I go for? I would look at a Leeds asset. It depends how much money you have. Semedo or Marcel are good for me. Dobrin saying, hey Dayvy, what's your plans for transfers? It's going to be Ben Rama out for Rafinha. I will check news in 5 minutes. I'll go check Twitter again to make sure. Do you think Tsimikas will start, says Chris France? I don't think he'll start because they have League Cup next week against Norwich. So I think that Tsimikas will start that game and Robertson will start the Crystal Palace game and then the next game. Rangding becoming a member. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Hopefully you do enjoy the star player next to your name. Thanks again for the support of the channel. Zaid saying, who would they start at right mid if Rafinha didn't start? Rodrigo. They might shift Rodrigo. What they might do is they might go for a formational change. And they might do some weird formation there. They might play Rodrigo Bamford up as a front two. And then I don't know where Dan James would kind of fit in, but you kind of never know. So thanks again, Randing, for becoming a member. I do appreciate it. Would you swap Sanchez for Ramsdale? Gary, if you're on a wild card, maybe. But I think that I never like to make goalkeeper transfers unless you want to burn a transfer. And I would probably just stick with Sanchez. The thing about Arsenal is that apparently they might rotate goalkeepers with Leno and Ramsdale, so we don't really know. Worth a -8 to get and captain Salah. So Daz, you playing on my FPL logic here because I always say, so let's just clarify, it's not a -8, it's a -4 that you're going to be taking. So my personal strategy is I don't mind taking a hit if you're going to captain the player. And in your case, you're going to captain him. It's super tough, but I probably would be tempted to go for that because I think Salah is a good option for the foreseeable future. So that's what I would recommend. I see another member. We're getting member heaven here right now. So I do appreciate your guys' support. Thank you, Asim, for becoming a member. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. And as I said, star player next to your name that will change color as long as you subbed. If you understand what I'm saying. Dayvy, you're the man. Great chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you're going to drop off, have a safe evening, safe weekend. Hopefully you get a green arrow. I see him saying TAA, Jota, or CO7 for Capsy. Thanks. TAA, Jota, or CO7. So you don't own Salah, obviously. I would be tempted by Jota, but I think I would probably go with CO7 in your situation. I just think, like, for me, it goes Salah, Ronaldo, Jota / Mane, that sort of thing. Nikhil saying, hey Dayvy, thoughts about Rafinha's differential captain? I do have Salah and Ronaldo. Nikhil, too early for me. I would go Salah. More differential, go Ronaldo, because I don't think many people will captain him. So I don't think I would go with Rafinha. I think it would be super differential, but I think I would probably stick with Salah and maybe Ronaldo if you want to go slightly different. Thank you for the super chat, though. Good evening, Dayvy. Good evening to you too. I have a very strong starting 11 and believe they all play, but I have no bench. What do you reckon? That's perfectly fine. If you have a full starting 11, that's fine to go with. And by some miracle, maybe one of your bench options starts. No Salah, thanks. So, Seem, it's a tough situation. Like, I would be super tempted by Jota, but I think because you don't own Salah, you're going different already. So maybe go a little bit more safe with Ronaldo. Do I play Ayling or Tierney? Who do Arsenal play? You can see my memory's so bad that I have to kind of check the fixtures the whole time. I think I would go with Tierney because I can't use the debate about Ben White and Ayling being more attacking because Tierney is exactly as attacking. Should I bring Saka or Gray this game week? I would probably go with Gray Thomas because they have Norwich up next. So Rip, no transfers, so no, in 1 minute I'm just going to check Twitter and then I'll confirm the transfers for you guys. Antonio to Bamford or Tsimikas to Marcel / Semedo? Dexter, Tsimikas to Marcel / Semedo because that to me makes more sense because Antonio is still a good option the next 2 game weeks. Digne versus James on a wild card. Nikhil, that's a tough one. So Digne has 2 good fixtures up next. James doesn't. I probably would go Digne, then I'd swap him out game week 7 for James. I'm not saying show us the way. Hopefully it is the way. Hopefully it's the good way. Bamford or Rafinha? Craig, I like Bamford more than Rafinha because I think Bamford's on pens as well. So I know there haven't been too many pens this year, but I just think we have to still factor that in. Okay, so 10 minutes left. Thanks, Jason, for the reminder. I'll check Twitter now for the final time, and then I'll do my transfers for you guys. Do you play draft, says Jason? I played it last year, but what I find myself doing is I lose interest so quickly in it. So I think if I had a couple of mates that did it, I probably would be more into it. But I have no one that plays draft, so. Okay, so I don't really know what's happening here. So was there a deleted tweet or something? Because that's what Andy said. Yeah, so apparently like there was a tweet, but I missed it. I missed the tweet. Did anyone get what the tweet was? So apparently someone, I don't know what the tweet was though. Flip. Surrounding saying finally allowed memberships in my country. So that's perfect timing because I swear you asked me about it last week. Saves me from making rash decisions. So ranking sometimes is more fun to have rash decisions, to be honest. Flip, I don't actually know what happened here. Like, I want to know what the tweet was. Like, it seems like there's a little bit of uncertainty here, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I wish I could give you guys the answer, but I can't. Because I'm just as confused as you guys are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do Benrahma right now. And I'm going to put Rafinha in so long. Because I think this might be a little bit of a last minute thing. I'm just trying to get clarity on this. Sorry, I think you guys can understand that I'm trying to get. So Saint, yeah, so what happened is that he tweeted it, but then apparently he tweeted something else and then deleted it. Because I saw someone quote tweeted it, and then it says that tweet was unavailable now. So I'm trying to find out what that deleted tweet was, because like maybe he tweeted something and then now he's got news that apparently something else is fishy. Because like for me, it's like too risky. If there's gonna be a lot of news about it, then okay, it said later suggest he starts. Okay, so he tweeted later suggested starts and then he deleted it. You see, the thing that like I don't know, it's such a tough spot to be in. Because then I'm gonna have to rely on the absolute don on Mubad Medeli to get me some points. So Glenn ZA saying deleted tweet was latest suggest he starts. Okay. Check tweeted DMs. Thanks, Zaid. Okay, I mean like yeah. So unfortunately I don't know, like there's not many like that's the thing about like the source. It's not like there's no reliable source. Jason saying congrats to Dayvy for the new sponsorship. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Jason. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for not disliking my video too much because I did have a sponsor. I know sometimes people do that. I don't know why, but thank you for that. Thanks for that, Jason. Appreciate the super chat. So Clement, he did tweet that, but what apparently happened was he tweeted that 45 minutes ago, and then now he tweeted something else. And then he deleted that tweet. So it's like all up in the air at the moment. To be honest, I might just bank the transfer at this point. Like I know that it's like if Rafinha starts, he's probably gonna get something, but like maybe not. How's it, Gavin? If you're only joining the stream now, it's absolute madness. We kind of don't know. We don't know about it. Did you already transfer in RAF? No, I didn't. So this is unconfirmed. So it's still Ben Rama, but I've just added it now in case we do get news. So like the latest update is that this account, it's called I think Unit Football. They tweeted that he starts. Okay, no, so he says everything's well. Okay, so we're gonna do the Rafinha move. So Ben Rama is out, Rafinha is in, and I'm confirming it. So no confusion there. Now we just have to hope he starts and we weren't trolled. Because if we were trolled, that's a little bit unfortunate. But as is FPL. And I just closed my music. Like this week. This stream is ending absolutely terribly. I've just closed my music. Now I don't even have to wear the earphones because I can't even play the music. What we will do is for the last 4 minutes, I will do the usual speed run of questions being answered. So please post your answers in chat. Jason's saying ratio. Jason, I don't know why you're ratioing in my chat, but if you do get some likes or something like that. But post your comments now and I'll try and answer as many as possible. First, James Pierce with a £2 donation saying, Semedo in for Duffy or Rafinha in for Ben Rama. If you have to play Duffy, I would bring Semedo in rather. I think the upside there is slightly higher. Liam Taylor saying, Legend mate, gotta eat, thanks. No worries, buddy. Go enjoy your dinner. Stay safe. Hopefully it's a good dinner. Okay, so let's go with, we'll start off with Zayd saying, have you confirmed the Rafinha transfer? Yes, I have confirmed it. Sonny saying, how many points for you this week? 83, because that's how much discount you guys get off Surfshark VPN if you use my coupon code Dayvy. 83% discount, so 83 points. Gary said, Dayvy, a legend, keep up the good work, Bruce. Thank you, Gary. Tony for saying maximum. I think I would keep either of those. So if you have Tony, keep him. Saying maximum, keep him. Ben Rama to Jota for a -4. I would probably do that, to be honest. Love you, David says, Kagiso, thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Is it even viable going without Trent? It is viable. No plays essential, but I would probably suggest going with TAA. Odegaard or Sissoko, go with Odegaard. Saw or Traore, go with Saw. Good luck, Gary. Good luck, Davey says, Gary, thank you. Silent Patrick this week, thank you. I appreciate it. Leeds to win, hopefully. Antonio to Bamford for -4. If you don't have a starting 11, I would do that. Do you believe in aliens? Yes, I do. Ferran or Traore? Ferran for this week is 1 week punt. Traore for long term. Are you winning, son? I am winning. Sneaky little plug there. Thank you for that. Best so far replacement, Semedo or Marcel. Play Gilmore or Feltman. I'd go with Feltman. Phoenix saying, love you, Davey. Love you too. Go check Go check. Optimus Prime, I've done my transfer already, so I'm not going to check Twitter. Alexander saying, boss, what's your plan for the FPL this weekend? Anything fun? Not so far, I don't think. I'm just going to probably watch the football. Bamford, decent captain. I would probably go with Salah. I think you're overthinking it if you don't. Gray versus Saar. I would go with Gray. Viva Davey says, Victor, thank you. Antonio and Ben Rama to Pookie and Rafinha. I don't think I would do that for a -4. I'd probably only do the Ben Rama to Rafinha move. Rafinha for Ben Rama already have 2 leads. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't really mind triple ups, and the fixtures look good. Ronaldo Salah for captain. Salah, TAA differential captain. Definitely differential Zach, but I would probably stick with Salah. Herman saying Gray versus Saar. I'd go with Gray. Why Feltman over Gilmore? I just think that maybe the chance for getting a clean sheet is higher than the attacking threat of Gilmore. Can I have a good suggestion for a replacement of Ben Rama? I already have Rafinha. I would look at Saar, but I would probably just keep Ben Rama in that case. Alba for DCL, yay or nay? DCL to Bamford, that's what I would do. Please talk about St. Maxim in your next video, says Mohammed. I probably will do that. I love Gucci. Thank you, Davey. Rafinha stress, says Karen. Absolutely. Hopefully it's been more of a relaxing evening after this, because this has been absolute stress mayhem. I believe rumors of Tsimikas starting. I don't, Jason. I think he'll start in the League Cup. TAL Salah captain, definitely Salah. Pookie or Jimenez, go for Jimenez. -4 for Buendia to Gray. Ryan, if you don't have, I don't really know with that one. I would probably just go with Ben Rama, to be honest. Start Basuma or Duffy. Duffy, great work. Thank you, appreciate it. Ailing to Semedo, free transfer. I would do that. Good luck, David says Tyler. Thank you, appreciate it. Bench Ailing or Ben Rama. I would bench Ben Rama. Bamford or Jimenez. Bamford. Jota or Torres. Jota. Would 600 points be weak? G-Red, anything above the average, I'm happy with. I don't have to start Ben Rama, so shall I say transfer? You don't have to start him. I would just bench Ben Rama then. Chinese or Thai for takeout tonight. I've never actually had Thai food. I have only had Chinese, so I'll just go with that. Good luck, Dayvy. Thank you, Tyrion. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sarip. Benrahma or White in this first 11. I would be tempted by White, to be honest. I don't think West Ham are going to get much against United. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deadline. So I do appreciate you guys asking your questions. Apologies again for the confusion, but I think you guys will understand that I only want to make confirmed moves when we have as much news as possible. So I do apologize if you guys managed to miss out on the transfer, but I don't think you did because I did make it with 5 minutes to go. But as I always say, hopefully this game week is going to be a good one. I think after all the stress, you guys deserve to go watch the footy, have a chilled night, stay safe, and don't do anything that I wouldn't. Thank you again for joining on a Friday night. I think it's a very, I like the support a lot because I guess on a Friday everyone's kind of busy. Jason, don't be so negative. Not Red Arrow Gang. It's going to be the Green Arrow Gang. And hopefully, as I always say, the Green Arrows are in our favor. I'm going to be signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.